Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the APCH Band and Dance Company.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, no one love you as you are. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, another round of bullets hits my skin. Won't fly away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors. Yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, this is proof, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 this is me.
And now, please welcome to the stage Emmy-nominated journalist and former co-host for NBC's Access Hollywood, founder of the Wordiful movement and advocate for all women and girls. She is a longtime friend of A Place Called Home, our Girl Power host extraordinaire, Liz Hernandez.
Thank you. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? I actually almost didn't make it here because there was so much heavy traffic in the boutique. Guys are some serious shoppers. It's good news. And as we know, it's almost Mother's Day, so you can get your mom a gift as well, and a portion of your purchase will be donated to A Place Called Home. Now, there's going to be more time to shop, yes, during lunch and after the program. The boutique will be open until 2:30 p.m. Now, a place called home is very near and dear to my heart, and this year APCH celebrates 25 years of love in South Central Los Angeles and are giving more than 20,000 young people an opportunity. Let's give it up. GirlPower is just one of a whole spectrum of dynamic programs a place called home offers for free each and every day to hundreds of young people. It's pretty great, right? APCH is a mecca of opportunity from 8 to 21-year-olds growing up in South Central Los Angeles, a neighborhood where too many children lose their way, their hopes, and sometimes their lives before ever getting to spread their wings and fly. At a place called home, every child receives unconditional love and support to develop strong values, life skills, and unlimited possibility. I've been involved for a number of years, and I've never have seen anything like this incredible place. Of course, it takes resources to operate a place called home. You know this is a fundraiser, right, guys? All right, so let's have some fun today. Let's raise our glasses to the power of girls and women and make a real difference by opening our hearts and, of course, our wallets for this important work. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce one of this year's fabulous Girl Power co-chairs. She is president of the award-winning marketing and advertising agency Ant Farm and a director on the board of a place called Home. Please show some love for Melissa Palazzo Hart.
Thank you, Liz. Welcome, Whoa, hello. Good morning. Only one glass of wine, guys, I promise. Welcome, everyone, to the 2018 GirlPower Awards Luncheon. It's so awesome to see you all here. I'm so grateful that I get to champion this organization that I feel so passionate about. I give time and treasure to this organization, APCH, because I've seen its impact on thousands of young people, including the amazing GirlPower Girls that you're going to meet in a little bit. They are truly extraordinary. We're also here to recognize some incredible women who inspire us through their leadership and the positive difference they make for girls, hi, women, and the entire world. I'd like to acknowledge my co-chairs today, Helen Green, former GirlPower honoree, Louise Hamagami, and our board chair, Dawn Taubin. Now, these women are also APCH board members, and we have a pretty good time on the board. So if you're interested, you might want to check it out. Just saying, no pressure. We have a really good time. And let's have a shout out to all the other previous GirlPower honorees who are here today. Could you guys please stand up so we can recognize you? And now for a glimpse of some of the work APCH is doing today, please take a look at the screens.
My kids have seen what I've never wanted them to see.
Mucha violencia, mucho pandillas, alcohol.
Got needles in the alleys and drugs over here and prostitutes here.
My mother raised 5 kids by herself. I never knew my father.
Ain't no sunshine when she's
was on my 13th birthday when my brother was actually shot.
It's not war when she's away.
And my house was raided by the police department at about 3, 4 in the morning. It was a wake-up call.
This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
When my brother was arrested, social services referred me to a place called home. I was like a candle, flickering its last light.
Brother, look beyond your golden leaves.
When a young person walks into a place called home, whatever their background, whatever choices they may have made that may have had negative consequences, here we start with a clean slate.
Like stars above us, we are all on fire.
We give them a space to think, we give them a space to create, we give them a space to challenge their own thoughts, and at the very least, tools to navigate the world.
It's really about them getting to understand themselves. It's about exploration.
I received counseling and mentoring. I started to express myself through writing songs and playing guitar. I learned that I mattered.
Like stars above us, we are all on fire.
My work has been about empowering individuals to make a life for themselves, to make a decision, that they don't have to live the choices of their parents or the generations before them.
Here, I feel that they open up, they feel a sense of family.
We serve about 250 to 350 fresh meals every day, all made from scratch. Some of it even comes from our own gardens.
We're really focused on seed to table, and the garden is a way to connect kids to nature, to the story of food.
Like stars above us, we are all on
Welcome to The Bridge, the newest addition to a place called Home's Campus, designed for our teens, and it is a multidisciplinary arts and performance space. We serve not only our programs internally, but also this is a resource for this entire community.
Since opening The Bridge, we've been able to offer many more classes. This space allows young people to truly have ownership, not only of this space, but of their lives.
If you tell a child you can be something, it's like lighting a flame in their heart. And the more that you pour onto it, the more opportunity, the more encouragement you give, that flame grows.
APCH planted a seed in my heart, a desire to help children in my community. And over the years, that desire just kept growing and growing. Well, I'm home now.
You got it.
Had I not been involved in a place called home, I can't really say where I would be, honestly.
Brother, you may find within your head.
Every day, the kids come and ask me, Miss, where's my class? Where am I supposed to be? And I guide them on their way.
And sleep won't crown because you never close your eyes. Like stars above us, we are all on fire. Like stars above us, we are all on fire. Like stars above us, we are all on fire. Like stars above us, we are all on fire.
These kids are going to change the world.
Please welcome to the stage an advocate for the equity and quality of life of all the young people and families of a place called home, Executive Director Jonathan Zeichner.
So good, so good. Wish I could wake up, smell the flowers. This world is messed up, but you and I was.
Before I speak, I want to say something. Our band and our dance company, these are our kids, okay? And you're going to see more of them later, and the GirlPower Girls, but really proud of you all. So thank you very much. It's great to be with you all on this, just one of the 365 days every year when we should be honoring girls and women. That's the right thing to do. Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to see so many men in the room who agree. We are all in this wacky humanity experience together. And my hope is that as power and the perception of power continues to morph and evolve, that what emerges is an understanding that we're each born with an invitation to love and respect each other, and to freely share our powers until no human being is oppressed anymore. Can I get an amen on that? My thanks to everyone who made this event possible, and it is really great to have Liz hosting again. Thank you, dear friend. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the amazing APCH Board of Directors and its members who are here today. Would you stand, please, if you're on the Board of Directors at a place called home, or if you've ever been on the Board of Directors at a place called home? Amazing people. Love you guys. And the APCH staff in the room, thank you all too. And there's 50 more of them back at the center. It's an honor to work alongside all of you every day to empower young people and families to thrive and to realize their greatest aspirations. I'd also like to introduce two really beloved members of the APCH family who have provided leadership and support for our college scholarship program for 17 years. Please meet the amazing David and Linda Shaheen. David and Linda. We love you guys. And finally, it is my great honor to acknowledge a woman who had a vision 25 years ago to create an oasis of love and safety for young people in peril. And she had the spirit and the tenacity to make it happen. She defines girl power and human power, and I love her dearly. Please give it up for the founder of A Place Called Home, Deborah Constance. She's the mama. As you saw in the video, when a young person enters a place called home, they encounter a very broad spectrum of opportunities to develop the skills, tools, and motivation to live purposeful lives and also to make the world a better place. Our 2018 GirlPower Girls have been on an amazing journey to arrive here today. Like 20,000 young people before them, they came to a place called home for a safe haven, and they found a new way of life. Today's event is one step on their passage into womanhood, and it's our assignment to let them know that we believe in them and that we're going to support them on that journey. And what an intense time to be stepping into the grown-up world, right? Across the globe and at a place called home, we are seeing young people who aren't just the leaders of tomorrow, they are the leaders of today. And that is cause for hope and celebration, which is what we're here for today, and to pay attention to them. GirlPower Girls, I see you every day. I witness you drawing from your experience growing up in South Central and at a place called home and figuring out how you're going to make the world a better place. And I know that you will. You'll persist, and you'll settle for nothing less than your best. My deepest gratitude to our wonderful honorees today, Paula, Jennifer, Elena of Avalor, Brenda, and Doris. You are powerful, genuine women and a cartoon character with impeccable integrity and values. And APCH is blessed to have you in the family. So now please relax, enjoy the ride, and welcome back the warm-hearted, wonderful, and wordiful, you'll figure out what that means, Liz Hernandez, and I'll see you a little bit later. Thank you.
All right, as this year's Girl Power honorees have risen in their careers and pursuits, they have also stayed true to their values and defined their success to include giving back and making a positive difference in the world. I want to ask everyone here a very special favor. Now, I know you may have come to support one honoree in particular, which is wonderful, but each of these accomplished women is worthy of our respect. So let's get started. Let's set a great example for these young people here today by staying through to the very sweet end for all of our honorees. Can I count on you guys to do that? All right. Thank you. Now I'm so excited. Please turn your attention to the screens to see a little about our extraordinary first honoree.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2018 Luncheon. I am a proud place called home GirlPower Girl, and I am honored to present our first recipient of the day, Disney's Elena of Avalor with the 2018 GirlPower Media Trailblazer Award. Elena is a teenager just like me and a courageous, empowered Latina princess, also just like me and all the GirlPower girls. There is a lot to admire about Elena. Her courage stands up for what's right for herself and others, provides, for example, leaders of all ages, and she crushes stereotypes and inspires self-respect in lots of young people around the world, just like me and all the kids at APCH. Elena is a character, but her voice and her message makes a real impact. Thanks to her, creators and producers, and the amazing cast that brings her to life for every episode. In March, the Elena creative team hosted us on a field trip to Disney TV Animation Studio, where we learned about how the show was created all the way from the original pitch through development, production, and the making of each episode. It was awesome. Pillar Flynn, one of the producers, even came to APCH to speak at our Empowerment Day event. APCH has an extra special connection to Elena of Avalor because the voice of Queen Lucille is none other than our amazing board member, Andrea Nevado. Andrea, you rock. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you to accept the award and say more about the inspiration that makes Elena and this show such trailblazer. The talented creator and executive producer of Elena of Avalor, Craig Gerber, and the voice of Elena herself, Amy Carrero.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Thank you, guys. Such an honor to be here. Elena actually can be here today, but we're going to be accepting the award on her behalf anyway. I guess she has a kingdom to run. And so here we are. You know, as everyone involved with this organization knows, role models are vital. Someone to look up to and be inspired by. Someone that can show you a path to be your best self. The other incredible women being honored here today are the best examples of this. But more often than not, the characters children see on television and movie screens are their first role models, their first heroes. When I was growing up, it was Princess Leia and the original Wonder Woman. Yeah. And now that I'm a family man, I realize the greatest superhero of all time, Mary Poppins. When our show first came out, one of our actors who's here with us today, Christian Lanz, came into the recording studio to tell us that he was in a toy store when he heard a young Latina girl run across the store and point to an Elena doll and yell out loud, "Mommy, Mommy, she looks just like me." And that was one of the moments, the many moments we've had since we've started this show, where I realized how much representation matters and how important it is. But the representation is only part of it. The other part is providing a character who's worthy of being a role model, which is why it was very important to us to make Princess Elena a leader, the ruler of her kingdom, in charge of protecting and defending all of her citizens, so that young girls who are watching can begin to see themselves as an empowered future leader. And young boys who are watching can get used to that idea. And speaking of role models, I have been fortunate to work with a crew and cast of phenomenal people who share the same passion I do for this show and have actually joined us here today. So at this moment, because there are so many of them, I just want them all to stand up so I can give them a round of applause for helping us make this show. Please, if you're involved with... It's a true labor of love for everyone, and I want to particularly thank Nancy Canner and Dana Green and Joe D'Ambrosia at Disney Junior, who have championed this show from the very beginning. Our producer, Pilar Flynn, our supervising director, Elliot Bohr, and our co-executive producer and head writer, Sylvia Olivas, who really wishes she could be here today. They are talented, stellar individuals who make Elena come to life. And of course, besides our talented cast, a lot of whom are here today, the person who brings Elena to life specifically, the voice of Elena, is right here next to me, Amy Carrera. And I'm going to hand it off to her to say a few words, but I just wanted to thank a place called home for this honor. You know, Girl Power is very important to me personally. I can't seem to make a show that isn't led by a female character who is empowered. It's a passion of mine, and I'm glad it's a passion of yours to change all these young girls' lives. And thank you so much.
Hello. So Sylvia Olivas, our co-executive producer and head writer on Elena of Avalor, unfortunately couldn't be here today. So she did send along a few words that I would be honored to share with you. She says, "I am so humbled to receive this award. It's personal. It's validation. When I was in high school, I was labeled at risk. I was at risk because my mom was a single mother raising 5 kids with only a 7th grade education. I was at risk because I lived in a high poverty neighborhood. I was at risk because I was a minority. At risk." Those are powerful words. And I remember the day that I decided they were right. I was at risk. I was at risk of graduating from high school at the top of my class. I was at risk of attending the university of my choice. I was at risk of living my destiny. My mom told me, "It doesn't matter what people say about you, it matters what you say about yourself." So, as the co-executive producer and head writer of Disney's first Latina princess series, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart for this Girl Power Award. And I just wanted to say a few words of my own. Elena of Avalor has been the greatest honor of my life because voicing her really gave me the hero that I never knew I needed. Elena of Avalor has taught me so much about being a leader, and a girl leader at that. What I wish I knew growing up about being a leader is that it has so much more to do with bravery and persistence and sacrifice for the good of the whole than just having power or having influence. And I think now more than ever, we need true, courageous leadership. And it gives me such hope to be standing in a room filled with new Girl Power Girl leaders that are gonna change the world. So thank you for having us.
Congratulations once again to Disney and the cast and creators of Elena, the Avalor. You are making such a positive impression on little Girl Power girls all over the world. Again, another round of applause. So amazing. And now to present the 2018 Girl Power Deborah Constance Humanitarian Award, please welcome to the stage Paula Silver's 3 children, Jessica, Luke, and Morgan.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm Paula's firstborn and pretty much the first person she calls when she wakes up in the morning. I remember when I'm a reporter, and I remember when I was just a baby reporter, all inexperience and eagerness, and I had gone to an editorial meeting filled with men. And I came back home and I was ranting to my mom, comparing myself to the few women that were there and being really competitive with them. And I remember my mom telling me that I needed to stop thinking of the women as my competition and instead start supporting them. And she reminded me, men do this all the time. Men do this all the time for each other. They champion each other. Why can't we? She also taught me the power of accessorizing. As you can see here, she's always known how to pull off a chunky necklace. I'm still learning. And also the power of the perfect black dress. I really am in awe of her. And now my brother Lukey Dukes is going to take the mic.
Hi, how are you? I'm Luke Silver Greenberg, aka Lukey Dukes. Thank you, Jessica. We call her Nano because she's so small. Yeah. We're so tall. Let's see. I first want to thank Louise Hamagami and Bob Israel and Mark Schmoger and all of the amazing people that work with APCH. Also, Jay-Z, not Jay-Z the rapper, but Jay-Z Jonathan, who runs this organization so well and brings so much change to so many people on a daily basis. I'm grateful to say that as a young boy, I didn't realize that sexism really existed. We moved from New York City to Los Angeles when I was just a little boy with my brother and my sister, for my mom to take the head post at Columbia Pictures Advertising as the president of marketing, the first woman to do so. As you can see from the photo behind us, this is a 1992 copy of Variety that my mom exudes power and brilliance, and also that Photoshop's come a long way, and that this head strip is terrible. It was only later on in life, when I began to read fine print, that I realized that not only did sexism exist, but that it was live and well. This article, this entire cover page, doesn't speak about my mom's brilliance as a marketer or her previous accomplishments professionally, but rather how much she looks like the Columbia Pictures woman. No joke, it really does. I was reading it last night. I'm excited to say that for a small portion of my life, my mom modeled for me not how it is, but how it should be. My mom is an innovator, she's a glass ceiling breaking badass, and I channel her every day. And now my brother, Morgie Mumu.
Yeah. All right. So I'm Morgan. I'm the youngest, and this is a picture of my mom's LinkedIn page, and it's here because when LinkedIn first launched, they had this like little scroll down menu. You could choose a bunch of different categories of what you did. You know, you could be a teacher, an engineer, and at one point they dropped that and they let you write whatever you wanted, at which point my mom felt so liberated and she could finally be herself. So her title is Solutionist, and it's kind of how she sees the world. She's so dynamic, she can't be defined by categories, by these disciplines. She really looks at the world as what needs to happen and how can we change it. And she's modeled that for me. I know it's what A Place Called Home tries to do in their children as well, and it's just such a beautiful thing, and it's the way that we all need to be living. And so with that, I think that we're inviting her to the stage to give her an award. Yeah.
Whoa, well, you've just met the greatest creations that I've ever produced. You know, people talk about life and balance, and I can't imagine living in the world without these kids. My mother said that these were the dividends that she got for not having killed me when I was a teenager. Thank you to a place called home. When I was asked to receive this award, I was so humbled. I was first introduced to a place called home 12 years ago, but it wasn't until Louise Hamagami Schmurger, my lifelong friend of a long time, who was actually with me the day that I almost went into labor 2 months early for Jessica Silva Greenberg to be born, and did 4 days later. She called the doctor. Anyway, Louise brought me here to a place called home, and I was struck by what I was met with. From the time we walked through the gates, the building is amazing. There's so much respect here. Everybody knows each other's name. I mean, the warmth and respect between the staff for each other and with each other and for the kids is amazing. From Benny, the security guard, to Arnetta, the bus driver, who was wondering how I got in the door. Because apparently, you're not supposed to drive through the gates, but I went right through. A place called home is a place where the arts, technology, nature, farm to table is taught. All these things are encouraged in a way that reflect my values. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity for me to thank a place called home for doing all it does. It reflects my values and the facets of Jonathan Zeitner's vision, which keeps growing. You get a true sense of family, and everyone is important. And people are doing things. They're taking action. It's not just a place where people are thinking, they actually do it. There's a class on social entrepreneurship. I watched a volunteer come in to talk, where the kids are being taught and discovering that when you do something you love and do it well and give something back, it will not only feel good, but it will empower you to make a living. As a young student, a teacher of mine submitted a collage I'd made to a big competition, Lever House. I knew nothing about it. When I was told that I'd won, I thought, oh my God, maybe I'm an artist. Being an artist and creating art has allowed me to see the world. Not just the art, and not just to appreciate it, but to notice the shapes of the window and see if you can find an alphabet in it, to see and hear and feel things all around us so that we don't just pass by with our screens, but actually connect and make a difference. My second job was at the Museum of Modern Art. I was designing the posters and the invitations for events. The director of the museum came into my boss and said, "We're going to have to cancel that Jazz in the Garden series." I, of course, was busy designing the poster at the time, so I was terrified. My boss said, "Well, why are we doing it?" He said, "Well, the neighbors on 54th Street are complaining that there's too much noise." I timidly suggested that we invite the neighbors in to the gala, because if they were at the party, they couldn't be complaining about the noise. He thought, maybe I should have a career in public relations. Me, I'm just a solutionist. I want to say, this room is filled with so many people that I love. My village is here, my posse is here. They've come from New York, from California, from all parts. My children and their friends are here. My cousins are here, and my cousins' children are here. This village keeps growing. I appreciate not only the donations they've made on my behalf, but the fact that they've actually showed up for me, and they're experiencing what a place called home is all about. My life is about showing up. My life is a tapestry of all these wonderful people and our shared experiences, and my career path mirrors the good fortune. What I witnessed at a place called home is that it provides girl power with girls and that sense of nurturing and the community of ideas and people who believe in you so that you can believe in yourself even when you can't. So I suggest we be kind, be forgiving, be inclusive, be curious, but do your homework. Opportunity always present themselves. You have to be able to see it, and you have to be prepared. Also realize how important words are. A simple compliment, a simple word of kindness can change a person's life I know this to be true. I want to thank Deborah Constance, who, like me, understands the value of movies, right? She saw a movie called Stand and Deliver about a real high school teacher who changed the lives of so many students. She then read an article and realized that it was based on a true story. She didn't just stop there. She realized that not only could the words and power of a film make a difference, but she could make a difference in her community. And that's how A Place Called Home got started. The power of film and the stories we tell are so important. Some communities are built on riverbanks, valleys, and mountaintops. This one, founded on inspiration, is in South Central. And if she can do it here, you can do it anywhere. I want to thank Jonathan for putting me on the same program as my dear, beloved, former colleague, Brenda Rios-Panos. She was a wonderful woman and a great collaborator, and I had the opportunity to work with her on a little movie called Casa de mi Padre, the first Spanish-speaking Will Ferrell film ever. I want to thank Desiree, Maria, Lucretia, Marcy, Julie, Jolie, the GirlPower Girls, and everyone here today. On my wall it says, "The road to success is always under construction." A Place Called Home is exactly that. So let's keep building it. This means a great deal to me. Thank you so much.
Big congratulations to Paula. You are truly an amazing example of what living with integrity and values looks like. And our girls are watching and they're learning. So thank you, Paula. All right. Well, I'm so pleased to welcome to the stage an exciting songwriter and singer with a focus on women's empowerment. She's a good friend to A Place Called Home. Please welcome our very special guest artist of the day, Megan Nicole.
We're all made of many pieces, a million emotions, every shade and every color in the world. You are perfectly imperfect, thinking you're broken, never knowing just how much you're really worth. But I can see your spirit shining bright like a beautiful mosaic, a kaleidoscope of light. Even if the sky comes falling down, no one's standing in your way, they can't stop you now. Spread your wings and fly above the clouds, 'cause you are courageous, 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 whoa, courageous, courageous, courageous. Hollow words are empty weapons, don't let them define you, 'cause you're stronger than you even realize. Others try to simplify you, but don't know what you've been through. There's so much you've hidden all your life. Oh, but I can see your spirit shining bright like a beautiful mosaic, a kaleidoscope of light. Even if the sky comes falling down, courageous, courageous, whoa.
Another round of applause for them. That was amazing. All right, guys, the silent auction is now closed, and I'd like to thank and recognize all of our generous sponsors and give them a special shout out. Of course, all of our many contributors, we really appreciate you. AEG, Disney, Barbara Glazer and Philip Morton, Louise Hamagami, Paramount Pictures, and Viacom. Thank you. Thanks to every single one of you here for your extraordinary support. I encourage you to go visit APCH yourself and to see what you are investing in. It is so beautiful. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the program director for A Place Called Home. Now, she is just an amazing, dynamic person who I love so much. She takes part in all of the young teens programs, which is known as the Bridge to the Future. I can't say enough great things about her. I get so excited because every time I visit A Place Called Home, she always welcomes me with just the biggest hug and open arms. Please welcome the dynamic Dr. Lucretia Taylor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I like that. It is an absolute honor to be here with you today to introduce to you the young women of Girl Power, our peer mentoring program here at A Place Called Home that provides time and space for girls to discuss the changes and issues in their lives and give support for their peers as they enter adulthood. I am thrilled to be here with you today to celebrate the culmination of our cohort for 2017 and 18, which is an extraordinary group of women who over the course of a year have learned about leadership, community, personal values, integrity, healthy relationships, positive self-esteem, goal setting, higher education, and so much more. This year, Girl Power participants completed more than 1,100 hours of service combined. And they even launched an international service project, providing resources for girls in Peru, much like themselves, who do not normally have access to the abundance of opportunities and support that A Place Called Home provides. Discovering the commonalities while realizing the disparities, our girls were compelled to act, extending Girl Power's reach all the way across the world. Girl Power participants have an average GPA of 3.4. 3.6 for girls who are involved in the program for 2 or more years. Academic excellence is a direct result of girls gaining understanding of their importance and taking responsibility for who they are in the world. The women we are honoring today understand that. Success is not theirs alone, but the result of the efforts and collective knowledge of the women that came before them. In Girl Power, a space is created where accomplishments are celebrated, setbacks are honored as learning experiences, and fears are confronted and overcome. One of the most inspirational components of the Girl Power program is the opportunity the girls get to develop relationships with accomplished women throughout Los Angeles. They visit workplaces, host inspirational speakers, and the girls' ideas about what is possible for them are changed, and they're empowered. Doris Gregory, a wife, mother, grandmother, mentor, and foster mom, spent some time with Girl Power, sharing her triumph and resilience, leaving the girls feeling strong and inspired. Mrs. Gregory's goal is to embrace and help those she cares for, to unearth healthy perceptions of themselves with kind gestures that reach wounds that only compassion can heal. Mrs. Gregory is being acknowledged today for her dedication to empower girls, specifically those in the foster care system, giving them hope and encouragement to become resilient, independent young women. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the recipient of the 2018 Girl Power Choice Award, Mrs. Doris Gregory. Congratulations, Mrs. Gregory. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the APCH Band and Dance Company to be joined very shortly by the young women of Girl Power. Thank you.
I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. And just something once unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. I've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. You're just something once unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. You're just something once unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. At the place that you're born, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. You're just something once unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. You're just something once unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten.
define you. Stereotypes do not define you. The pen is in your hands. Keep writing and editing until your perfect ending is crafted.
Fill yourself with things you never dared to say.
Standing up on my own with positivity, bright green and full of life. Live your life with arms wide open.
Until the sunrise guides you home. We welcome everyone with open arms.
With honest acceptance and love in our hearts.
I have the right to be imperfect and perfectly okay with it.
Feel the rain on your skin. Have a movie type of moment.
See the colors brighter, see the silver lining. We acknowledge our accomplishments and the support we have.
The hardships we have endured.
All the choices that led us to this point. How they have made me the person I am today.
It's like opening the door to the past and being surrounded by it.
I am a helpful hand, seeing the good in everyone.
We are going to change the world.
I know that when I reach the end of the dark tunnel, a brighter future awaits.
I am what I feel in that moment.
And express it through the way I move. Some of us are going to create the greatest book of a lifetime. Some of us are going to make breakthroughs in science. Some of us are going to be the politicians who finally make positive changes.
And some of us are just going to be.
But all of us are going to make a difference. With all this future, we will shake the ground we stand on. And we will not apologize for it.
We are going to break the fake walls of stereotypes. We will come out
Drenched in love and empowerment.
We will see equal pay.
We will see female presidents. I will be the face of the medical field.
The future starts now. It's the palm of our hands. We invite you to join us.
You are looking at the future.
Wow. Thank you, girls, powerful girls. That's amazing. All right, that's what we're here for. So, and I would like to acknowledge also the artistic staff at a place called Home who teach music and dance and choral work and all those things. And they are led by Ms. Jewel Delegal, who heads up all of our arts programs. Where are you, Jewel? She's here somewhere. There she is, over there. Incredible, Jewel. Congratulations. So, just about a year ago, I got a call from my dear friend, Ray Tucker. He's here today. Hey, Ray. And he said, Jonathan, I need to introduce you to a friend of mine who is hurting. He recently got married to the love of his life, an amazing woman, and his heart is broken because she passed away. And he wants to honor her in some way and make a difference in her name. And I have a feeling that a place called Home could be the key. And so that's how I met Rios-Panos and learned about Brenda Rios-Panos, his beautiful bride, whose story is so much like the stories of the young people at a place called Home. And Dimitri and I spent an afternoon together, during which he told me stories about Brenda, and soon I was in love with her too, and we were both in tears. I really wish Brenda were here today to receive the Angel of the Children Award. And I think when you hear Dimitri talk about her, and if we all wish it, then Brenda will be here today. So please meet my friend, here to share a little of his beloved Brenda with us, all sitting with Brenda's friends and colleagues at the table, right over there, Mr. Rios-Panos.
Thank you, Jonathan, very much for that very kind speech. We've all seen these press conferences, especially at sporting events. Hello, you people behind me. Some guy gets up and says, I promised myself I wasn't going to cry. Those are words you're not going to hear from me. I'm just being honest. I'm Greek and I'm emotional. You have to sort of kind of deal with that right now. Because like as soon as I walked in here and I saw Brenda's face and her picture in the pamphlet, Waterworks. As soon as I've been listening to these speeches and watching all these people, these girls dancing in that speech, Waterworks. Paula, thank you so much for that speech. And as soon as you mentioned my wife's name, it was just Waterworks. Chocolate-covered strawberries, Waterworks. So, my name is Rios-Panos. I had the pleasure and honor of knowing Brenda for 6 years. We were married for too short 4 months. And you can read the pamphlet. That'll give you a good snapshot about who she is, who she was, what she empowered. But I'm going to go a little bit above and beyond because Brenda, at the age of 15, was more or less on her own, and she defied the odds. If you listen to these girls, they've defied odds. And through the help of some friends, the kindness of strangers, she was empowered, she was inspired. She finished and graduated high school, and she was inspired to continue school, go on, at a time when, again, everything was stacked against a 15-year-old girl. She didn't have a place called home. So her odds were decreased in what she was going to become as a woman. She did go to school. She could have been a pharmaceutical salesperson. She worked at a doctor's office. And nope, she wanted to go into advertising. So Brenda graduated school while at the same time being a mother to her 2 nieces who she mentored and took care of and encouraged and inspired, continue to go to school. And man, she was a tough mother. You needed to get good grades. You needed to go to school. You needed to get out there in the world. And they've become successful women. One, Desiree, lives in London, has a great life. Her other, Kim Ray, great job in the social media. All because of Brenda. And Brenda was doing this all while she was going to school and trying to find her way and working through advertising agency and working her way up. She inspired all those around her, whether they knew her, whether they were colleagues, whether they were friends, some of them here at this table. Brenda inspired people to be better. She did it with a smile, with a stupid joke. She had a laugh that was so infectious, but it inspired those people to go on and do better things. And then one day, she was asked to become president of marketing for the first ever Latin American studio, which falls under the Lionsgate umbrella. It was Pantaleon Films. She was one of the founders. She was one of the 3 people first on. And she became president of marketing. A Latin American girl who 15 years old was in the streets becomes president of marketing for a studio that paves the way for Latin American audiences. They just had, in fact, the #1 new movie, the #1 comedy out today, Overboard. Brenda was a startup for that. So I just wanted to say, so she inspired, and when I got in touch with a place called Home, they inspire. They inspired me, and I knew that she would have been involved. She would have inspired these girls. So today, I am here to accept this award, this Angel of the Children, and also to tell you that there's a scholarship foundation under her name. We got some amazing news from Pantaleon Films, which I'm going to say right here. Pantaleon was kind enough, they donated $5,000 for 2 years. And that helped bring our total. Now, my goal was $10,000, and when I walked through these doors today, we're almost at 11. And now as I put this mic down, we're over $16,000 for the Brenda Scholarship Foundation. So a place called home, Jonathan, I thank you. I thank everybody here at the table. Her brother is here today, and all these friends and colleagues who've worked with her. Ray Tucker, who put us together. He can do a couple of good things, that guy. So they want the mic, and you've probably had enough of me anyways. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Oh, there is one more thing that you should know about today. And it's true, we didn't plan it this way, but today is Brenda Rios-Panos' birthday. So there's no better gift than being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri. Really, thank you for sharing Brenda's inspirational story with all of us, and most importantly, for keeping her spirit alive through the scholarship that's put in her name that will support girls at a place called home as they go on to college. Thank you. And now to present this year's Girl Power Community Builder Award, please welcome a woman who is executive producer of ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, a mother, a mentor, and a fundraiser. Jill is regularly included in the Hollywood Reporter's annual list of the 100 most powerful women in Hollywood. She's also a dear friend and admirer of this year's Girl Power Community Builder Award recipient, Jill Lederman.
Wow, what an inspirational day. Ladies, may I say, I am moved by you. You are soulful. You live so beautifully in your own skin. You are talented, and I look forward to working for you. Heartfelt thanks to everyone. I'm so honored to be here with you today. I'm so excited. Anytime I'm invited to a lunch with the words girl and power, I am in. There is a very special and small group of people who are put on the earth to make it a better place for all who inhabit it. Those people are thoughtful, they are generous, they are level-headed, they are proactive, and they are selfless. They spend their days finding ways to provide others the best life they can possibly have, which makes these givers feel full and whole inside. They're fueled by pure altruism. Giving is their #1 full-time job. Today's Girl Power Community Builder Award recipient, when I look at her, I want to cry, so I'm going to sort of look this way and this way. The fabulous and fierce Jennifer Lynch. Is a beautiful member of that illustrious group of people who live to make other people's lives better. Giving is her full-time job. It's in her nature, and it is infectious. It comes as naturally to her as her positivity, her sparkling smile, and that curly hair that is her trademark. I call her giving ways inspirational, but her 10-year-old son, Colin, calls them savage. Jen has reinvented ways to continuously give of herself, her family, and her company over and over throughout all the decades that I've known her. On a large scale professionally, she is the Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility and Internal Communication for Paramount Pictures. She helps determine the ways that a gigantic corporation donates funds to people in need. On a smaller scale personally, she encouraged me to become a mama when I had doubts about my own abilities. She made me muffins when I got pregnant to encourage healthy, hearty eating. And she is always the very first person to donate goodies whenever I need to put together a charitable raffle. Ladies, she doesn't wait to be asked. She jumps at the opportunity to be helpful. All of Jen's high-profile jobs since college have been about improving minds, redirecting environments, and establishing charitable giving programs to aid and mentor those people in need. Everything Jen touches improves exponentially. She espouses that same work ethic in and outside the office, so you can see her 2 times a week at Collins School helping out with the literacy program. But Jen didn't always have this clarity. We all need to figure out a way to find our passion. When Jen graduated from NYU, her mom's gonna love this part, here we go. When Jen graduated from NYU after majoring in Manhattan as opposed to in her studies, I'm sorry, Mama. At that time, Jen felt rudderless. Her life had very little direction, and so she fell into a Great Depression. Then, when she found volunteering, she saw the light, and she realized her calling. Jen began serving at University Settlement, the oldest settlement house in the country. She knew she wanted to help people. She eventually got a job at Inner City Scholarship Fund with the Archdiocese of New York, helping economically challenged inner city youth get the best education possible. 6 months into the job, she found her calling. It was solidified, and she decided to get her master's in nonprofit management and policy, which was very expensive at a fancy schmancy school like NYU. Since she was only going part-time, she had to figure out a way to make ends meet. She was unable to receive financial aid, so she took a night job at a gay bar in Chelsea to pay tuition. Jen imagined if the Archdiocese learned about what she was doing at night, or the gay bar knew about what she was doing during the day, it would make everybody's minds blown. Luckily, neither found out. Her secret was safe, and she did a beautiful job getting through school to help everyone for decades and decades to come. She got her graduate degree, she got her master's degree, and her work ethic was shining through. Her character shows dedication to a higher cause, and people like Jen Lynch, the Oscars are great, the Emmys are great, they're all great, but this is what awards are made of. Jen Lynch is a true angel who walks the earth, and for that, she deserves the award, but the award is that we get her. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a real shot at a great future because of women like Jennifer Lynch. Jennifer Lynch, please come up here and receive this beautiful award in your honor. Community builder.
I first got to know Jill in New York. I had been invited to one of these fundraisers that she did every year for a charity called God's Love We Deliver, which feeds people with HIV and AIDS. And Jill, although she was busy being the writer's producer on the David Letterman show, every year she was somehow able to find the time to put together this amazing fundraiser at Barney's every year for God's Love We Deliver. And the first time I went to that, I said, I have got to get to know that dame better. And her friendship is really one of the great gifts of my life, so thank you for being here. When I was approached about participating in today's event, it took me a long time to commit. Jonathan, Melissa, my boss, Chris Petrikin, will tell you it was probably an annoyingly long time to commit. But participating in an event entitled GirlPower in 2018 has a very different significance than it would have had back in 2005 when I first got to know a place called home. Back then, through the power of the Boston Irish Catholic Mafia, I was able to convince Mark Wahlberg to participate in a celebrity basketball game benefiting a place called home. And actually, that was when I was at AEG, and it's so great to see so many of my friends from AEG here. Thank you for being here, guys. And the title sponsor for that basketball game was actually Paramount Pictures, my new home, which I'm so grateful to be at, so thank you guys for being in your support. But now, this is 2018, and we're time's upping, and we're no moreing, and we're me tooing, and if there is one thing that we have all come to realize, it's that right now, We girls have the power. Now, for the men in this room, you can view this as an opportunity, you can view it as a power struggle, or you can pull out your phone and check out last night's sports score or this morning's stock open. But what I'd like you to do is believe that history has shown us that sooner or later, you all are going to have the power again soon. And right now, I'd prefer you just act as a fly on the wall, because I really want to talk to the girls in the room, namely the GirlPower Girls. So how do I know we have the power in 2018? Let me give you some examples. Recently, I was meeting with a senior male executive in our company. We were talking about something sensitive. The door was shut. And when the conversation had finished and I went to leave, the door got stuck. It wouldn't open. Instantly, he stood up, he apologized, and he said he was not Matt Lowering me. So you see, in 2018, Matt Lauer has been reduced to a verb. Another time, I was meeting with a different senior executive at our company, and I was introducing him to a charity that I thought would interest him. Actually, a charity that the amazing Jill Lederman introduced me to. They build schools down in Guatemala and other areas like that. And as I was explaining the work of this charity, he kept interrupting me with questions, which I interpreted as excitement and interest. But after the fourth or fifth interruption, he stopped. He apologized profusely, and he told me that he had read in the New York Times that when a man interrupts a woman while she's speaking, it's seen as a sign of disrespect, and he wanted to assure me that he meant no disrespect at all. He was just eager to learn more about the charity. But perhaps my favorite example involves my son, Colin, who had decided to do his school project on Alice Paul, one of the suffragettes. He could have done Martin Luther King or Abraham Lincoln, and when I asked him why he chose Alice Paul, he explained to me that he had so often heard me talk about my personal hero, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, the founder of this women's suffragist movement, and he wanted to learn more. And so you see, they're listening to us. My question to you is, what do you have to say? And so I want to ask the GirlPower girls in the room 3 questions, and I want you all to answer me in a loud, strong, clear, confident voice. And I want you to say, I will. Can you do that, Jackie, Yesenia, all the girls, can you do that? Girls, will you use the comprehensive academic focus program at a place called home? And will you take advantage of their reading and literacy programs, their tutoring services, their homework help, and their academic support to ensure that you graduate from high school? And will you participate in the amazing College Bound initiative at a place called home and take advantage of the APCH Shaheen Scholarship Program to access higher learning, advanced training opportunities? Will you go on to community college or trade school or technical school, university, to deepen your education and to broaden your worldview? Will you? Don't turn around, Kimberly. And when you cross that bridge into the future, into adulthood, will you promise to give back to others, be the change you want to see in the world? And as my friend Kimberly told me, will you devote yourself to lifting others up, others who have not had the same advantages of you, as being in the place called home community and the GirlPower program? Will you, girls? Well, girls, if you do all that, then I promise you, you will all have all the power that you will ever need. Thank you so much for including me in this important day. I want to thank my friends, my family, the members of the LA Community Leaders who are here, the great miracles in my life, Damien and Colin. And I want to thank my 82-year-old mother, who flew by herself from Boston to surprise me today. Peggy Lynch, I love you. Thank you very much.
Well, if you don't feel inspired, I don't know what to tell you. Wow, Jennifer, thank you. Your years of leadership in entertainment, philanthropy are truly extraordinary. Thank you for carrying the torch and for your years of support at A Place Called Home. And on behalf of A Place Called Home, I'd like to congratulate all of today's honorees and our GirlPower Girls. All right, GirlPower 2018 is almost a wrap. If you haven't done so already, please fill out an appeal card to make a donation and to get more involved. You can sign up for an APCH tour as well. And if you have an envelope that has not been collected yet, please find one of our staff members. You can hand it to them. Don't forget to celebrate the international girls and women in your life, especially your mother on Mother's Day. All right, before you head out, the boutique is going to close in about 45 minutes, and I'm excited to let you know that somebody in this room is going to win an amazing, dazzling, beautiful bracelet that we have inside here. It's a halo bracelet that is perfectly designed in sterling silver. It is gorgeous. You can surprise your mom with this beautiful piece, generously donated by Daniel's Jewelers on Mother's Day. Or you can treat yourself. You can keep it. Don't feel bad. The bracelet is valued at $249.95. All right. Now here is our APCH vocalist, Jazea. She is going to actually draw the winner's name. Drum roll. Thank you. Stacy Collins, you just won yourself a beautiful bracelet from Daniel's Jewelers. Come on up here, Stacy. Thank you guys again. Thank you for supporting A Place Called Home. I'm wishing everyone in the room well. Stay inspired, get involved, and we'll see you guys all next year. Jonathan, thank you.